Welcome back to the Southampton career mode. This will be your season and series finale for the end of season 4. With the Carabao Cup already assured, the Premier League title already going to Manchester City, we have the opportunity today to win 2 further trophies. The FA Cup, we're in the final against Newcastle today, and the Europa League. We have the second leg of the semi-final against Napoli to play, where hopefully we will progress to the final, which undoubtedly will be against Real Madrid, which is not going to be easy either. We won't be wearing the suit for it. My girlfriend was on a night shift last night. Suit's in the wardrobe. She's asleep in bed. Can't get to the suit. So we're going to just do it in the Southampton kit, if you'll forgive that minor misdemeanor. We'll crack on. Today we'll find out exactly how this save is going to end. And we'll have a look, of course, at the end of the save at everything that's happened in this season. And, of course, look through the Patreon players as well and see how their careers have developed in this save ahead of the new Sheffield United save starting on the main channel over the next few days. In fact, by the time you see this, that save may well have started. I haven't yet decided when that will happen or when this video is going live. But for now, drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and you won't miss out on any more of the career mode content that's coming your way. It will be F123 and F1 Manager for the next 2 or 3 months whilst we head towards the launch of FIFA. No, not FIFA. Whilst we head towards the launch of FC24, and then, of course, FM after that as well. But for now, let's end this save with a bang and 2 more trophies if we can, shall we? Do come across and join me on Twitch, where all of the behind the scenes are recorded, of course. Link in the description down below. The main channel has its final save going up as we say very soon, or already up. So check Chesnoid Gaming for that. But here on ChesnoidPlays, hopefully, we're going to play our way to 2 more trophies. Oh, yes, please. I will absolutely take a free kick from this sort of range. It's not the obvious shooting angle. I could try and Dimmy Pie it into the far corner. We won't do that. What we will do is try and get it into that top left-hand corner. Put quite a bit of power on it and hope that it goes up, down and round. Oh my God, which it so very nearly did. That would have been probably one of the best free kicks I've ever scored. If that nestles in the very top corner. Oh, man. Oh, the keeper touched it. It's a save. It was going in. How on earth has he gotten to that? That probably is going post and in. And fingertip stuff from the keeper onto the post. That is probably the best save I've ever seen on FIFA. That's unbelievable. A free kick from inside the box, apparently. And 1-0 to Leeds. It wouldn't have been from inside the box. It's just a visual glitch. But still, that's annoying, isn't it? Leeds win. No, they don't win. They lead by a 1-0. Hopefully they don't win. But our Premier League situation at the moment isn't really... Never mind, they're not going to win 1-0 because Conor Gallagher's equalised immediately. Hopefully we can still finish inside the top 4 and have something to cheer about with regards to our Premier League season here at Southampton. But if you win 3 trophies in the year, do you really care where you finish in the league, provided... Oh, it's 2-1 now, provided you don't get relegated. A club like Southampton, to win 3 cup trophies in a year, you're not bothered where you finish 4th, 7th, or 15th, really, are you? It's 2-2. Jamie Shackleton, channel hero, gets the equaliser. Oh, it's nice. Can we win it in the last minute? We hope so. Suleiman is in the box. Square it. Oh, saved and tipped over the top. Ludovic Blas can't give us the winner. And again, Ludovic Blas underneath the corner. Can't give us the winner. Can Luke Shaw? No, the referee blows his whistle. It's a point against Leeds. But that's fine. We've still got 4 games left in the Premier League. But the most important one for now is this next one. Napoli line up in, I believe, the exact same way as leg number 1. Tielemans and Elmas are perhaps on the opposite side of the midfield 3 to last time. But that is the only change, I believe, to the first leg, which was particularly difficult to play in the last episode. And I'm expecting just as similar a level of challenge in this second leg. But as was the case with Inter, we had a 1-0 leg lead there from the first one. And all we need to do is see this through now at home, avoid defeat, and we'll be in the final. It's Real Madrid in the final, so I'm not expecting necessarily to win the final. But getting there is good enough for us so far. We'll take it 1 game at a time. Conor Gallagher inside there to Ibrahim and Skamaka. Surely from here. Not from there, apparently. Is Farhat Shelia, a player that I would like to use at some point on either 23 at Sheffield United or on FC 24. Novakovic having to deny his strike partner Artur Cabral from giving us an equalising goal on aggregate. And Napoli starting this game as they played throughout the first leg. Decent, creative and dangerous. Farhat Shelia into Lamar. He was kind of fluid positionally in the first leg as well, and I expect him to be so in this second one as well. Sambu Ngisa trying to force the issue with a long-range effort, but that's not going to work. We're going to be calm and composed at the back. We're going to take things slowly, not going to rush into any passes or any attacks that don't look like they're going to work. We're going to make sure that we see this through. I want to win all 3 trophies this season. Been very, very good, Ibrahim, since coming in. His agility and balance are just second to none. Been so impressive. Really glad that we decided to recall him from loan and get him into the midst of the squad, because he's actually been better than Smith Rowe was on that left-hand side. And even though Smith Rowe is on his way back from injury now, Emil is not going to be back in the starting lineup because Ibrahim's been too good. Suleiman is going to need some support here, and it's arriving. Oh, and Unai Simon reacts late because Marcao was stood right in front of him, but he gets the save in nonetheless. Still only 1-0 on aggregate and 0-0 on the night. Salisu knocked this down, and Ravella. Power shot blocked by Yuri Tielemans and out for another corner. Ravella will deliver instead, this time trying to turn provider. It's going to fall. Oh, I was going to try and get an overhead kick in with Skamaka there, but it just didn't quite drop for me. Gallagher, Luke Shaw, Suleiman has made a good run, and Skamaka. Oh, I tried to just kind of dummy it with his right, let it come around the defender and then play it in with his left. And Ludovic Blasson made a smart run, but it's not going to find him. We still, though, could score. And Skamaka can beat his man. And Gianluca. I thought the keeper was going to rush me, so I committed to a lob. And then the keeper stood still. Balls. Blass with the delivery. Shaw's got the run. He's not going to get there. Ravella will nod this down. Can we please score a blooming goal? Half an hour to play. Get across to him, maybe. Suleimana's beaten the runner. Don't need to cross it when Skamaka's in so much room. Now the keeper has come. The one time I don't think about doing a little dink. Yo! Trying to be cheeky with a quick, low effort. Unai Simon has been very, very good for Napoli over the course of these 2 legs so far. He's certainly made enough saves over the course of the 2 games to warrant some sort of recognition from either set of fans. But there is nothing he can do about that. Conor Gallagher rarely scores for me. Isn't really that impactful on the overall game. But that's the best thing he's done for me in a Southampton shirt. And the most important, firing us to the Europa League final with a long-range thunderbolt. Conor Gallagher makes it 2-0 on aggregate to Southampton, and we lead by 1-0 on the night. Out of his feet, and wham! That is unstoppable. Ricardo Pereira going off, and then number 6 coming on in Van Everijks. Just a straight change at right back. Not really going to help them find 2 goals in 2 minutes. Deflected off Nicolo Ravella there as Napoli look for what would ultimately be only a consolation goal. Lamar will take the corner, and with the keeper up, if we can clear this, which we have done, we might be able to score a third. But they're actually going to use their goalkeeper. Go on, Unai Simon. Lovely little reverse pass. I'm almost tempted to let them try and score. That's us through to the Europa League final. So the final 2 games of the day will be FA Cup final and Europa League final. Newcastle, then Real Madrid. Bit of a step up. Free kick for Arsenal. 10 minutes into this Premier League tie. Oof, good save by Bazunu. Resting a handful of the first teamers. With the FA Cup final in mind. And Gabby Jesus from the corner gives Arsenal a 1-0 lead. Lovely ball out wide. Inside to Suleimana. And there we go. It's an equalising goal for Marcus Thuram. Continuing his run of goal-scoring form. We're level at the Emirates. Both number 9s on the score sheet. Oh yeah, I saw her. She was the one that scored the first header, wasn't she? 2-1 Southampton. Thomas Partey. Just as there's been 3 goals for one Brazilian lady in the Panama game, there's now been 3 goals in this game. Nice. And inside again. Ludovic Blas in the box. Pull it back. Hey! Ibrahim! It's 2-2. Southampton equalise. Lovely cross to the back post where Ibrahim was waiting to turn it home. Switch. Go on. There you go. Ibrahim. Lovely touch. Oh! Thuram in to win it in the last seconds, but can't quite. Good block by the defence. 2-2 draw away from home against Arsenal is not a result to be unhappy about. It's a really decent performance, and to come back from a goal down twice shows the fight that we have in this side to try and get as good a result as possible. We have another game against Spurs in between the game against Newcastle, so we'll go and sim that one again now. Again, with the rotated 11, although evidently a handful of players are unfit on both sides, but I'm sure it won't be a problem. 1-0 Spurs. It's Schmidt that puts the ball in the back of the net for them. Striker regen wearing the number 11. Don't know if he's a Harry Kane regen or not. Maybe I could check his birthday after this if live chat remind me. We'll see who he's a regen of, if anyone. But whoever he's a regen of, he's got to be half decent because he scored a goal against this Southampton side. That's a lovely ball. Please be onside, Ibrahim. He's beating his man as well, but he can't find the pass. And we're going to lose by 1-0 against Tottenham. Not to worry. We shall head into the FA Cup final now against Newcastle as they beat Chelsea away from home. So they'll be in high spirits. Up next for us will be that cup final at Wembley. I think we've managed the squad well enough that most are fully fit. Ludovic Blas, however, will probably have to sit this one out from the start, but will have an impact from the bench. Well, we've won at Wembley already once this season. Now let's go and win at Wembley again. In fact, no, we've won at Wembley twice this season. Once in the semi-final of the FA Cup and once in the Carabao Cup final itself. So let's do it for a third time to bring home a second trophy. He's the Benzema regen. Gilles Schmidt. 19th of December, French. Certain Karim Benzema was born on the 19th of December. So it's Alexis Sanchez, Gary Cahill and Fikayo Tomori. And Gabriel of Arsenal, the Brazilian centre-back. And Franck Kessié. Lots of high-quality footballers born on the 19th of December, it seems. Active current footballers. But Gilles Schmidt is 92 rated. And the Karim Benzema regen. That's why he was good enough to score against us. Hopefully, we can do the job here against Newcastle. They've got some tired players as well, so maybe Blas will get the start. We'll wait and see. That's what we're playing for. FA Cup trophy. It's the black and whites of Newcastle versus the red and whites of Southampton, although we're playing in greens for this one. Let's see what we can do. One trophy already assured. Hopefully 2 more to add by the end of the episode today. Newcastle are decent with regards to the players they have at their disposal, although a handful of them are not quite fit enough to start, including Van Dijk on the bench. Castells, Bar, Kasuni, Milenkovic and Target at the back 4 and goalkeeper. Verratti, Kessié and Joelinton in the midfield with Trincao, De Ketelaere and Miguel Almiron on the right-hand side. The only change for my starting lineup is that James Ward-Prowse comes in for the tired Blas and carries the captain's armband with him as well. So should we win today, Jim Jams will lift the trophy. Challenge. Bugger. Miguel Almiron has so very nearly given Newcastle a stunning 1-0 lead. But woodwork in the way. Runners, runners, runners. Conor Gallagher draws the save out of Koen Castells. He got us through to a final. He very nearly won as well. Conor Gallagher can't give us the lead. Tierney's picked up an injury. That's not great. Looks like he's able to continue though, so hopefully he's not going to be out for any given period of time. Charles De Ketelaere. Down the line. Tucked back. Almiron. Oh, Verratti, Joelinton. Verratti, Joelinton. Joelinton, the one signing probably that came in and left again without making any sort of impact here at Southampton. We bought him from Bournemouth, actually. He'd already left Newcastle to go to the South Coast. We brought him to a different South Coast side, and then he decided he still wanted to go back to the North East. We'll Prowse to Conor Gallagher. Get away from Verratti, as he's done well. Ibrahim. Skamaka might just have run offside. Managed to time it right. As is Sulemana with his run and his left-footed effort. It's well blocked by a defender. Then it comes back and hits Sulemana on the arm, and it'll be a Newcastle free kick or advantage. Ward-Prowse. Sulemana. Oh, it's space. And he's dangerous when he's got space. Most of the time. I hit a hand. Sorry, Nicolo. I know you're fantastic, but we do have James Ward-Prowse on the pitch right now. Can James Ward-Prowse give us the goal to take the lead at Wembley? Yes, he can! In true James Ward-Prowse style, he gives Southampton a 1-0 lead in the FA Cup final with one of the best free kicks we've scored in the entire save. That is how you do that. What a finish. We decided to throw him in ahead of Ludovic Blas, and I'm rather glad I made that decision now. Out, around the wall, into the, well, not quite top corner, but it didn't need to be to beat the goalkeeper. You love to see it. A James Ward-Prowse special at Wembley for potentially the second cup of the season. Joelinton. Oh, it's nice. He threw the gap. And Ketelara very nearly took all of the joy out of us by instantly responding for Newcastle. Hoping to revel in that 1-0 lead in quite such spectacular fashion for a little while longer than just about 60 seconds, if you don't mind, Newcastle. And, well, Miguel Almiron is going to help us do that because he's just run straight off the pitch. Gallagher. Forward to Ibrahim. We could play a 1-2 here, and Ibrahim's in. It's 2 in front of those travelling fans from the south coast up to London. They've had less distance to travel than Newcastle fans, but that journey back to Newcastle will feel twice as long if things continue the way that they have. In stoppage time at the end of this first half in the FA Cup final, James Ward-Prowse is certainly putting his stamp on this. A wonderful free kick and now an assist, and we lead by 2. That's a nice ball out to Miguel Almiron. His touch isn't good though. Well, to be fair, his touch was good. I just kind of read where he was going to go with it, so I knew where to position the defender. Tierney to Ibrahim, who's really got much space. 2 players inside, one of which is now James Ward-Prowse. A goal and 2 assists, maybe. Scamacca! It certainly is. James Ward-Prowse is running things right now. I think he starts the Europa League final ahead of Ludovic Blas, who, to be fair, has fallen off a little bit in the last few episodes. Ludovic's not really pulled the strings the way that he used to. And James Ward-Prowse not only has pulled the strings, he's the one that made the strings in the first place that need pulling. He's an absolute god. Talk about dictating play. A goal and 2 assists in a cup final is a truly spectacular performance. We're going to win the FA Cup, boys. Domestic cup double on the way. Out wide here is Sulemana. Trying to turn. Finds James Ward-Prowse. Oh, and he very nearly has another spectacular goal to his catalogue for his career. It's Longstaff coming on for Verratti. Might be... Oh no, Scamacca's hurt. He's alright, he can continue as well. If we lose Scamacca and Kieran Tierney for the final against Real Madrid, it significantly lessens our chances of winning that tournament. We're going to win this one, comfortably so, but at what cost? Wait for the whistle. There it is. Southampton win the FA Cup to go with the Carabao Cup that we were victorious with earlier on this season. We've had 3 appearances at Wembley this year. We've won all 3 games at Wembley this year. I'm not sure where the final for the Europa League is going to be held. The final of the Champions League in the RTG, weirdly, was held at the London Stadium, which is West Ham's ground. Wasn't the most spectacular of destinations for us. We ended up not winning that Champions League final anyway. But James Ward-Prowse, deservedly so, man of the match and captain, and will lift that FA Cup trophy. And no one really has deserved it more in Southampton colours than him in real life. And certainly he wasn't as influential for us in this save, but when it mattered in a big game, he has turned up for us. And rightly so. James Ward-Prowse will be the man to lift the FA Cup for Southampton Football Club. Domestic Cup 1, Domestic Cup 2. Now time for European Cup 2. After the Conference League last year, can we win the Europa League this year? 1-0 West Ham. Kone from the midfield buries it. Partnering Declan Rice in that midfield for West Ham and doing a very good job at that indeed. Nice. Ibrahim's in. You got to shoot, pal. You cannot be squaring that from there. Pull the trigger. Go on, you're in. Square it. Oh, he's done it again, to be fair. Ibrahim, I was annoyed at him a moment ago. I'm not sure if it'll make the highlight package. I was annoyed at him a moment ago for squaring it when he should have shot. He arguably should have shot there as well. But he tried to lay it to Scamacca this time again. And on the second attempt, it worked. And we are level as we reach half-time here now. Play him over the top. Oh, you got to play him over the top. Gianluca Scamacca could have been in to score a second against his former team. As it happens, it's only the one that we do get. Newcastle have lost back-to-back games now. We have one final game against Everton in the Premier League, which I think is probably the last game of the season. It is indeed. So the situation in the league is as follows heading into that. Title, gone. Done and dusted. Battle for fourth, very much on between Arsenal and Chelsea. Liverpool have Chelsea at home. Arsenal are away against Leicester. So you'd say that Arsenal have the better chance there of finishing in that fourth position. At the bottom end of the table, Brighton are gone. Middlesbrough, Norwich and Fulham are fighting it out between the three of them to be not one of the two that go down. 18th place Norwich playing 19th place Middlesbrough at the Riverside on the final day. Fulham have West Ham. Wow. That'll be a hell of a game at the Riverside up in the northeast there, won't it? Giant fixture, and if they draw it, they'll probably both go out and get relegated as it is anyway. We've got Everton, so we will sim that with a bit of a rotated 11 and hope that we can keep as many people fit as possible for the Europa League game against Real Madrid in 3 days' time. Goal for Everton. Balogun, the man to give them the advantage. Someone that we looked at earlier in the save, but decided against signing. Ultimately the right decision, I think, at the time and still, in hindsight. But it has come back to bite us on this final occasion. But we're level, so we're not going to worry about it. Own goal by Timothy Pembele. We lead at St Mary's. That was a bit awkward. We'll take it though, ta very much. And there you have it. A win in the final game of the Premier League season. Liverpool win 3-1 against Chelsea, so Chelsea probably don't get that spot in the Premier League in fourth. Quickly glanced fast enough what the Arsenal result was. No, Arsenal finished fourth in the end. We finished fifth and Chelsea dropped from fourth to sixth on the final day. Not great for you lads, was it? At the bottom end, Middlesbrough won, but so did Fulham. So Norwich and Middlesbrough still end up going down. Brighton will join them in the Championship next season, although unfortunately there will not be a next season. There is, however, a next game, and that is the Europa League final at the Estadio do Dragão, which I think is in Portugal. Is that the Benfica Stadium? I'll have to have a quick Google of it. We'll find out when we get there. Youth player unsettled. Oh, Tony. Sorry, pal, bye. Right, let's go and play Real Madrid then for a third trophy this season and our second in Europe. Real Madrid have a disgusting side, and how this team is in the Europa League, I've no idea. Vini, Koeman and Mane, Ugarte, Valverde, Tchouaméni, Aït-Nouri, Martinez, Gabriel and Trent with Thibaut Courtois in goal. How's that team in the Europa League? We're going to have a rather difficult time of things to get out of the stadium with a trophy, aren't we? It is Porto's ground that it's being played at, the Estadio do Dragão. So, I apologise, I'm definitely mispronouncing that. So, this is probably the least confident we've been of any game that we've played in this entire save, to be honest. We ended the RTG with a European trophy defeat. I'll try not to end this save in similar fashion. Ward-Prowse gets the start and the armband, because of course he does. Vinny with a press. And it's forced me into a mistake. Sadio Mane and Kingsley Coman winding up for the effort. And if they shoot like that for the rest of the game, we are not in trouble at all. Come on. Scamacca's short. And Conor Gallagher Oh, Thibaut. We're going to have such trouble getting the ball past Thibaut Courtois today. You already know it. And Mane. And Vinny. And Salisu. And Vinny again. And Livakovic with a strong arm to keep him out. Dest. Suleiman. He's going to go again. He is. Prowse can't get it to him, though. Central Martinez forward. A step there to play Vinny offside, which I needed to do. Otherwise, he was in. And Luke Shaw just has too much strength. For Kingsley Coman, Ibrahim, James Ward-Prowse. Try and pull the strings again. He's done it once today in a cup final. Big game player, Ibrahim Skamaka. Is he a big game player? He certainly is. We've beaten Courtois at last. Southampton 1, Real Madrid 0. Not very often you're going to hear those few words together in a sentence. We lead the Europa League final. Southampton! He's very excited, the stadium announcer guy. Couldn't be happier. I wonder if he's got a favourite. I bet he goes ballistic for a Real Madrid goal, though. Mane, Vinicius. Oh. Dest. Into Suleimana. There's space here. This is dangerous for Real Madrid. Just a little lift to try and find Gianluca Scamacca. Going for the worldie. Didn't really get the connection on it needed. Conor Gallagher was in the middle and waiting. Maybe I should have just brought that down. I've been quite so greedy with the striker looking for the goal. I bring that down and then try and square it. Maybe Gallagher has a simple tap in. Ugarte, Sadio Mane, Luke Shaw in the way. Hit a hand though. Fede Valverde, it's a long way out. He might try it, Fede. They might try and lay this off. Oh, it's Kingsley Coman, was it? No, I'm not sure who that was that had it. Looked like may have been Trent Alexander-Arnold on his left foot, which is a strange decision. I think it was Trent on his left. Fair enough. You can do that all day long if you like, Trent. You're not going to score from that sort of range with a set piece like that. Straight at the goalkeeper. Comfortable for him. Fede Valverde into the box now, though. And Real Madrid still looking for that equaliser. Kieran Tierney continually denying any sort of action on that left-hand side. 10 minutes to see this out. Real Madrid should never be in the Europa League in the first place. But when they are, you very much expect them to win it. But they're not going to. Not yet. And this could be it. Ibrahim! Thibaut! Brilliant save. Sadio Mane off as they make a change up top. Oh, it's going to fall to James Ward-Prowse. It's Gonzalo Ramos. They've brought on off the bench. Jim Jams! Gonzalo puts the tackle in. Salisu wins it back. It could yet be James Ward-Prowse! Ah! To seal it! It's not quite. Not yet. Rovella. Luke Shaw. I mean, I don't mind if we don't score when the ball's down here. We've got the lead to sit on. Let's just see the game out, shall we? 5 to go now. Rovella, stay on side, please, Camaldine. Good lad. Leave the man for dead, leave the man for dead. He's done well. He'll cross it in. It's straight to the keeper. Coman. Good block by Tierney. Seconds to go. Kingsley Coman now going off for them. Marco Asensio, I think, coming on. Are we going to get the fairy tale ending to this save that we were denied in the RTG? Oh, Dominic Livakovic might just have assured it with that brilliant save from Tchouaméni from range. Just ask any England fan who watched the most recent World Cup about Tchouaméni shooting from distance. Vinny Jr. with the corner. It's poor though. Courtois up. He's not interested in trying to get possession. I can't speak. We're so excited to win the Europa League against Real Madrid. We've pulled it off. 3 cup trophies in this save now. And we do get the fairy tale treble ending to the save that we were hoping for, that we were denied in the RTG. A European Cup final win by a single goal to nil to round things out here with Southampton. And James Ward-Prowse gets the chance to lift another trophy for his club. As the crowd sing loud and proud, or when the Reds go marching in. We marched. We took over, we conquered, And we'll leave to go from Portugal back to England with another trophy to add to the Southampton trophy cabinet that is significantly growing since we took over at the club. We've won 2 of Europe's 3. We've won 2 of England's 3. 4 of 6 will do for me. No Premier League or no Champions League. But I'm happy enough with what we've achieved here at Southampton. I think you guys will be as well. To be fair, it's probably more than we expected to win when we took over at Southampton, isn't it? In all honesty. Back-to-back European trophies and a treble to end. Thrilled with it. And that will send us into the end of season roundup where we shall head now. How has everything else gone down in this save? And crucially, how well have those Patreon players done as well? Yes. It feels good to win trophies, doesn't it? So full season roundup and a save roundup as a whole for how this save panned out in the end. Obviously, you've seen the Premier League table already, but I will quickly give you a glance at it. See, we weren't able to get ourselves into the top 4 at any point in this save, but very, very close indeed this time around. 5th, which I think is the highest we've finished, actually. So, quite happy with that. City, Liverpool, United, Arsenal, then ourselves, Chelsea, Spurs, Newcastle, Everton. West Ham round out the top 10, and Middlesbrough, Norwich and Brighton went down. FA Cup, you know how that finished because we watched it today, a 3-0 win over Newcastle. Carabao Cup, you know how that finished because we did it the other day, a 1-0 win against Manchester City. In Europe, the Europa Super Cup was won by Marseille over Manchester United. The Champions League this year was won by Tottenham. FIFA's so realistic. Tottenham 3, Manchester City 1. The Europa League, you know what happened there. You just bloody watched it. And in the Conference League, Porto won by 4 goals to 0 against Galatasaray, which is a hell of a performance from them. And then in the World Cup, yet to kick off. I'm not even going to bother going through those groups. You could just have a look if you'd like to pause it at any moment to see what the groups look like. But we will move on rather swiftly. So, other competitions that we're involved in as well, or that other competitions, sorry, that went on around Europe, we'll show you in a minute. Premier League Golden Boot winner, Erling Haaland, 24 in 36. Skamaka came second, though, for Southampton, which is very, very nice indeed. Ludovic Blas, despite not scoring for the majority of the late season, to be honest, managed to get 14 all told for the year. And that's the only players we've got on there. Roman Brown is actually on this list at the bottom there for Liverpool. 11 goals in 33 games. He's a centre-back who started as a centre-forward that we changed position with in our youth setup, and Liverpool played him at striker for most of the season. He still managed 11 goals, so fair play to him for that, but Blas gets the silver boot, though, with the most assists in the Premier League this season with 15. Skamaka's there with 9. Sulemana with 9 as well. The other Southampton players in this list, we'll ask ourselves, the answer is no. Clean sheet-wise, Livakovic gets the Golden Glove with 14 in 34, just pipping Edison to it. And Erling Haaland picked up 6 yellow cards, apparently. Fair enough. Right. If you'll back out for me, please. Let's have a look at the other leagues around Europe, the bigger divisions coming up. Well, bigger divisions as we look at the lower leagues in England. Burnley win the Championship, and Bournemouth come back to the Premier League. Brentford, Hull, Sheffield United, who our next save will be with on the main channel, and Watford in the playoffs. Relegated from the Championship and down to League One once again is Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham and Wigan. In League One, Huddersfield and Portsmouth have gone back up to the Championship. Charlton, MK Dons, Blackpool and Bolton in the playoffs. Cambridge finished 14th, so we're very pleased at that. And Lincoln, Port Vale, Shrewsbury and Salford relegated. Nick with Colchester, Patreon player, wins his division. Top of the league with the U's. Northampton and Swindon will go up with them. Accrington, Bradford, Crewe and Stockport in the playoffs. And were the National League in the game, Newport and Carlisle would have been relegated down to it. In France, it's PSG by a long way. 22 points to Marseille. Bundesliga, Frankfurt. That's unexpected. Bayern only 3rd. Well done, Eintracht Frankfurt. That's a hell of a performance this season. Roma with 102 goals scored win Serie A. Juve 2nd, AC Milan and Inter Milan round out the Champions League spots. In the Eredivisie, it's RZ, GG. In the Portuguese League, it's Porto from Benfica, Sporting only 3rd, a distant 3rd as well, a very distant 3rd in the SPL. Rangers from Celtic this time. And in La Liga, Real Madrid by a long way from Barca and Atleti. You'd like to think, or you'd probably expect, that both Barcelona and Atletico Madrid might well have sacked their managers after that terrible season, or were Real Madrid just that good? Ultimately, I think with 69 points, Atletico Madrid surely would have seen the back of Diego Simeone for that, you would have thought. Anyway, with regards to managerial objectives this season, we did all right, actually. We're not quite in the untouchable echelon at the top, but 86 manager favour is not bad at all. No youth objective, despite it being high on the list. So, Taha, we've got 1 of 2. We didn't quite keep a clean sheet streak of 5 games, unfortunately, in home matches. Salary growth was 13%. Annoying. Top 5, not top 4, so we don't get that one, but we do get both cup, domestic and continental success ones, so we're happy enough with that. With regards to the squad then, when it comes to goals scored, Gianluca Scamacca proves to be worth his weight in gold. Very, very, very influential striker for us. I'm delighted with the decision to sign him in the end. Not the obvious go-to, and we like to do that really. Not the obvious go-to in the majority of the saves that we do. And very pleased with his performance. 47 goal contributions in 47 games. Ludovic Blas, again, not the obvious, but 19 goals and 22 assists is very impressive indeed. And I had a go at Sulemana for not being as good in front of goal as he should be with regards to his goal scoring. And yes, you would have liked more than 2 goals from an 89 rated player in the Premier League. But to still get 18 assists throughout the course of the whole season and 24 goal contributions is still good enough, you feel, really. But it would have been nice for him to score a few more goals. Conor Gallagher popped up with a belter today. Marcus Thuram came in, scored 7 in 10 in the Europa League, although not all of them for us, of course. 3 goals, 3 assists in the Premier League as well, and 2 goals in the FA Cup. Another striker that came in and made an impact. Abdelkader Ibrahim was very, very good. Up to 85 rated at the end of the season, and just as good as Emil Smith-Rowe, as far as I'm concerned, certainly in the way that he felt in game. Very, very good indeed. James Ward-Prowse with 10 goal contributions, including that free kick in the FA Cup final. Couldn't have done it on a bigger stage, really, in the English game. We'll quickly show you how everybody grew then this year with regards to development. Livakovic didn't grow, actually, but obviously kept a number of clean sheets to ensure that he got the Golden Glove. 25 clean sheets in 56 games played is very impressive. Bazunu actually grew to 85 to outgrow Dominic in the end. Tierney up to 86. Salisu was one of my favourite centre-backs when we... Actually, I think we signed Salisu at Southampton in FIFA 18 and we loved him. We loved him here as well. Luke Shaw, you heard me speak about him earlier in the episode. Very, very solid. Bella Kotchap, didn't really get the chance to utilise him that much as he didn't grow that well. Serginho Dest was actually much better than I thought he was going to be. He's underperformed for me in saves previously. I think when we were at Southampton last year, he wasn't quite cutting the mustard. Aaron Hickey was a good backup. Lavia grew really well in the end, but never smashed it for us. If he'd have been that higher rated 2 seasons ago, then maybe, yes, he would have had more of an impact. Sulemana up to 89. A couple of the youngsters growing quite well. James Ward-Prowse up to 84 this year. Conor Gallagher up to 86. He's decent, Conor Gallagher. Don't expect him ever to be a world beater, though. He doesn't really excel anywhere. But those 93 long shots certainly made their impact at least once today. Nicolo Ravella, very, very solid. I'd certainly prefer him over Conor Gallagher, to be completely honest. Richie actually grew quite well, up 3 to 81, although we never really utilised him that much, but certainly would have been good enough when called upon, if called upon. Ludovic Blas up 1 to 85, but can't recommend him highly enough. Very, very pleased with Ludovic Blas in this save. Smith-Rowe, we spoke about not being quite so good as Ibrahim, and certainly Ibrahim made his mark in this episode alone, let alone the season as a whole. Really grabbed the opportunity on that left-hand side when Smith-Rowe was out injured. Marcus Thuram was superb, and Gianluca Scamacca similarly. Broja did well out on loan, never really held that first-team position for his own with us, and ultimately Gianluca Scamacca was always the better player. So with regards our personal career, this is how we did here at Southampton. All told, 218 games played, 110 were victorious. So just like a 50.1% winning percentage, we'll take it. 52 games drawn, 56 games lost, and an overall goal difference of plus 91? Plus 89, I think. No, plus 91. Brain, come on. 344, 253. Why is my brain struggling to figure this out? It's plus 91. I absolutely failed there for no reason whatsoever. In the first season, we ended up finishing 11th. The operation at the beginning of the save was just saving Southampton, and we did that very well indeed. We then managed to finish 7th in the Premier League before following that up with a 7th in the Premier League, and we only got Europa League football because we won the Conference League. Thankfully, we did, because we then went on to win the win the Europa League next season, finishing 5th in the Premier League, and we would have been in the Champions League next year if we were going into another season, which unfortunately we are not. But needs must at this stage of the season. It is a numbers game, and F1 Manager certainly will get more views than this Southampton save in a 5th season would. But thank you for showing your support on it. I very much appreciate it. We love going back to clubs that we've got a fondness for, and we will be doing the same with Leeds next year. On FC24, we will be doing a Leeds United save, but I don't know whether it will be on this channel or the main channel. I haven't yet decided. So make sure you subscribe to both. A bit of a plug, but I'll let you know when I've made a decision nearer the time, of course. And, of course, my player to come again on FC24. There will be no FIFA content on this channel for the rest of this cycle, at least. So do make sure you're following Chesnoid Gaming. Of course, the Sheffield United save is about to begin there, as we've mentioned. The brand new final save of the season with updated transfers and promotions and relegations. Alterations made to the Patreon players, of course. And speaking of those Patreon players, in fact, I can show you better with a spreadsheet that show you how everybody did in this save. A lot more players in this save stayed at the same club. You guys chose in the main with the RTG to move about, and in this one you chose to stay put, and the majority did so. I'm going to go literally after I've recorded this and start updating everything for the new save. So Aiden was the joint highest rated player here. Started at Frankfurt, ended at Frankfurt, 64 to 86. AJ went out on loan to Depor, then got a permanent move to Celta Vigo Season 2, and then a second or third move ultimately in Spain to Sevilla, where he ended the save at 84 rated. Everybody that started at a club ended at a club, unlike the RTG, where ultimately some people got released and then moved again. Actually, I say that. Millie started at Liverpool and then was sold to Troyes. I think his contract expired, actually. Went on loan to Lazio, left out of the squad by Liverpool, and then signed by Troyes and stayed there at 82 rated. But heading back up, Barnes Cutter, 62 to 84 at Hull. Brandon, 62 to 83 at Hamburg. Cole, 62 to 84 at Rangers, obviously helping them win the league in this final season. As we saw, Connor, 63 to 80 at Brighton. Craig, 59 to 79 at Fiorentina. Not a massive amount of growth from those CDM positions, but we'll look to alter that moving forward for the next save. Daniel, 63 to 84 at Everton. Dawson, 64 to 84 at Man United. And Daz, 62 to 83 at Borussia Dortmund rather than Brighton as he was in the RTG save. Dylan started as a free agent for this one, out on loan at Magdeburg in Germany before getting a permanent move to Orlando City, where he stayed for the rest of the save, went from 59 to 79, similar to Dylan. Puskás started at Bodeglimt and stayed there, went from 64 to 86. Great growth for him, similarly to Aiden as well, indeed. Jack started at 64 at Pompey, ends at 85. James Ambrose at City, 63 to 85. Very good move. Very good growth, for him as well. Jordan started with us as a free agent, then moved to Henk on loan in Season 1 before getting a permanent move to Werder Bremen, and then in the last season, getting a permanent move to Juventus at 85 rated. Very well done for him. Millie, we've covered. Kyle just can't quite seem to keep himself out of LAFC. In both saves, he ended up going to LAFC. In this one, he stayed there. In the other one, he stayed there this long and then another season and then got a move to Inter. But 85 rated at the end of the save for Kyle. Liam started at Cambridge and stayed there, 64 to 83. Manu went out on loan to Alger in the Season 1 before moving within France again, or permanently from us to Strasbourg, where he stayed and ended 83. Matthew went out on loan to Troyes with a loan to buy, stayed there for the further 2 seasons before getting a permanent move to Real Sociedad at 85 rated. Nick, as we mentioned in the season roundup, helped getting Colchester to League One again with a title. How much of an impact he made at left back, I don't know, but certainly Colchester will have valued his services. Rob stayed at Sunderland throughout the course of the save and was also 80 rated from fullback. Scott out on loan permanently to Valencia with a loan to buy and stayed there, 83. Tom went out on loan to Watford, then came back to us and moved permanently to Lecce before then getting a move in the final season to Sporting, 83 rated. Tommy ended up going out on loan to FC Twente in the Netherlands before coming back to us and getting a permanent move to Leeds Warszawa, where he stayed for the rest of the save. Leeds Warsaw, not misspelled. And Bradford was where Will decided to start and stayed for 4 seasons from 63 to 84. We have loads of new people to add in for the new save. A handful have unfortunately not decided to continue on the Patreon, but that is absolutely their choice. Of course, if you would like to join the Patreon and be involved in maybe this save if you're quick enough, if not, certainly for the first save of FC24, or saves of FC24 with a permanent save, manager mode and my player, then do head over to the Patreon and have a look. Of course, if you're not able to get into the very next save for FIFA 23, then by all means, there's no need to join at the £18 VIP level until the start of FC 24 to get yourself involved there. But would love to have you on the Patreon, but of course it's your decision, absolutely. But thank you to those of you that have at any level to show your support for the channel. It makes a massive difference. And at the minute of 1 YouTube channel, 2 YouTube channel, Twitch channel and Patreon is my second biggest earner right now. So thank you very much for your support here on Patreon. It really does make a massive difference. That's all for this Southampton save. I will see you in an F1 video here on the second channel very, very soon, whether that be F1 23 or F1 Manager 23. And I will see you on FIFA very soon with the Sheffield United save over on Chesnoid Gaming. Thank you very much for watching and for your continued support. I'll see you next time.